What's up? Welcome again to the College Investor Audio Show. We are so glad you're here with us as we're going to talk about artificial intelligence again today and how it just continues to fall flat on its face when it comes to student loan forgiveness. Some of it's good, some of it's just not so good. So let's talk about it. But first, you can find out more about all things student loans and pretty much anything finance related at thecollegeinvestor.com. We are there, tons of information for you. You can also follow us and like us and all that stuff on social media. Just search for The College Investor and you'll find us. All right, so AI, asking them about something like public service loan forgiveness. So it's one of the most sought-after federal student loan forgiveness programs for sure, promising complete debt cancellation after 120 qualifying payments for borrowers who work in government or nonprofit jobs. But this program has also been plagued by years of confusion, regulatory changes, and uneven implementation. The whiplash for some borrowers has been intense. With AI growing in popularity, some student loan borrowers are using it to get answers to their questions. Not necessarily a great idea, though, as you're going to see. But can AI actually be trusted to explain a program as complex as PSLF? So to find out, we posed a series of questions to the 4 leading platforms: ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Grok, and Perplexity, ranging from the most basic definition of PSLF to more detailed scenarios. While all 4 tools correctly explained the basics, most stumbled through when asked about nuanced issues like whether the SAVE plan's administrative forbearance counts toward forgiveness, or whether the new repayment assistance plan, RAP, qualifies, and whether a borrower's loan must be serviced by Mohila. The results show that AI might be useful for some simple stuff, but just can't replace official resources or expert guidance when it comes to navigating student loan forgiveness. It's just too complicated for the artificial mind. So here, what AI tools got right? Let's talk about the good news first. Every system we tested correctly defined PSLF at a high level, which is a program that cancels the remaining balance on direct loans after 120 qualifying monthly payments, 10 years, while working full-time for an eligible employer. The tools explain that qualifying employers include government agencies and nonprofit organizations, and that repayment must be made under an income-driven plan or the 10-year standard plan. For borrowers just learning about PSLF, these answers were generally accurate and helpful. The tools also highlighted the requirement that only direct loans qualify and that FFEL or Perkins loans don't qualify, unless they're consolidated first. This baseline accuracy is very important, but it's also the simplest because it's defined clearly across multiple websites. For basic PSLF education, AI appears to be reasonable. Okay, that's a good starting point. But here's where AI went off track. The real test came with the more complex questions on whether the SAVE forbearance counts toward PSLF. Only Google Gemini offered a somewhat decent answer, but after multiple paragraphs that seem inappropriate for the question. You have to cipher through all that stuff. The answer is actually simple. Time in SAVE forbearance does not count. Done. Except potentially through the PSLF buyback process if the borrower qualifies for that. It's cool. So anyway, you can dive into this article and actually read the answers. We have all the transcripts from the different platforms right inside this article at thecollegeinvestor.com. So ChatGPT, Grok, and Perplexity all gave inconsistent or incomplete responses. Some even suggested incorrectly that SAVE-related pauses might be credited, like the COVID-era payment pause. No. For example, ChatGPT answered a clear yes if your loan is placed into an administrative forbearance by the Department of Education. For example, during the pandemic payment pause or due to servicing errors while rolling out the SAVE plan. Those months can count toward PSLF. But that's not right. And when asked whether the new repayment assistance plan created under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, OBBBA, qualifies for PSLF, the answers diverged widely. Gemini correctly identified RAP as a qualifying income-driven repayment plan beginning in 2026. ChatGPT also recognized RAP's eligibility, but hedged that the Department of Education had not formalized guidance, or finalized, rather, guidance, even though this is incorrect. And it was written into the OBBBA that RAP does qualify. Grok, however, incorrectly denied RAP's existence as a repayment option, suggesting it must have been a typo. Yeah, okay. It's not the AI's fault, it's the human's fault. Uh, Even on the relatively straightforward question of whether loans must be serviced by Mohila to count for PSLF, responses did vary here. Gemini and Perplexity correctly explained that servicing is now managed through studentaid.gov and that loans can remain with any servicer, federal servicer. ChatGPT suggested loans eventually move to Mohila for tracking, reflecting outdated information. Grok gave a partial answer to this that was kind of accurate in describing direct loan eligibility, but incomplete in its explanation of Mohila's limited current role. Why accuracy matters for student loan borrowers. Let's take a look. So, the gaps in AI responses kind of highlight why borrowers should be very cautious when using AI tools for financial decisions, mistakenly believing that months in save forbearance could count toward forgiveness. That could delay cancellation by years. Misunderstanding whether RAP qualifies might lead borrowers to choose the wrong repayment plan, too. Confusion about servicer requirements could result in incorrect paperwork or more confusion. Because PSLF has historically been one of the most error-prone and complaint-heavy programs in federal student aid, accuracy is just not optional here. The Department of Education has repeatedly updated PSLF rules through waivers, account adjustments, and negotiated rule-making. Each change has created new exceptions and caveats that AI systems often fail to capture fully. Last year, our study found that AI was incorrect in 43% of our queries, and today's test around loan forgiveness is kind of mirroring these results. If AI tools repeat those errors, the consequences for borrowers could be significant. Safer and smarter alternatives for borrowers. All right, so if you want reliable information on student loan forgiveness, you should continue to rely on official resources, like humans. Studentaid.gov, the Department of Education's actual website, hosts the PSLF Help tool, which verifies employer eligibility and tracks payment counts, and it's updated regularly. Loan servicers. While imperfect, loan servicers remain the official point of contact for processing payments and forms. It's also important to note that loan servicers cannot give you information on the future, like RAP. They really can only discuss current options that might work for you. Media organizations that specialize on education and personal finance, like the College Investor, highlighting us, who we have decades of experience discussing and covering student loans and personal finance. We keep our finger on the pulse all the time. And we have testified before Congress, visited the White House, and continually report on student loan and higher education policy. Certified pros. For personalized advice, borrowers can consult financial planners or even student loan lawyers. They do exist, that specialize in student loan debt. All right, now, AI tools can provide a helpful overview, okay? We're not just bashing all AI tools, but borrowers should always cross-check information with the official sources. The bottom line, AI is not ready to help you navigate PSLF. The technology is improving. It still struggles, though, with the nuance and exceptions that can make or break eligibility. So for now, AI should be treated as a supplementary tool, not a primary source. Borrowers who want to ensure they're on track for forgiveness should document their employment, submit PSLF forms regularly, and consult with the DOE directly. We know that AI may someday help simplify student loan programs, but today, it remains a work in progress. And there's probably should be a point where we stop progressing AI. I mean, I grew up watching Terminator 2. If you need something a little less graphic, Wall-E is another one that kind of is an eye-opener of what AI can do. Anyway, enough said. That is our show for today. If you want to find out more, dive deeper into public service loan forgiveness or really student loans in general, we have everything you could possibly need to know at thecollegeinvestor.com, and we stay updated every single day on things. Like us and follow us all over social media. Just search for The College Investor and you'll find us. Thanks again for stopping by today. Go watch Terminator 2 if you don't believe me, and we'll talk to you again real soon.